For me, the main thing was that you have a lot of time to explore different options before you select your major. So you can try it. For instance, this past term, I took a course in literature, I took a course in math, I took a course in programming, and you usually are not able to do that if you go to like a university in the UK or in Sweden. So flexibility for me is like the #1 thing.
Gotcha. I definitely value the flexibility as well, but I think I'm more certain on what I want to do. I want to do like biology and economics, and so that's why I wanted to do the U.S. because it allows you to. Obviously, these fields seem maybe a bit unorthodox, the combination, but it's definitely possible in the U.S., which is definitely why I chose to do the U.S.
I basically I wanted to apply to like a school that I knew was like academically rigorous. So then I looked at like what schools fit that criteria basically, and then I looked at the school culture and you know, what the campus life is like, what the student body is like, what people are interested in there, what like academic subjects they offer, and then based on that I narrowed it down to maybe like 6 or 7 schools that I ended up applying to.
Yeah, so I had a good range. Penn was actually my dream school, and fortunately got in. Basically, I just did a lot of research, mainly on the web. And as Marco was saying, I was looking for academic rigor, which I found at Penn, and also just like the opportunities outside of school, like extracurricular wise, and sort of for a lead into careers, as well as like internships, like we were talking about. Things like that are like prevalent at campus on Penn, which is something that I really value.
I mean, that's very difficult to say because I didn't review my own application.
Nah, okay.
But you
can. I took the SAT. I did not take the ACT. I took the reasoning test twice, and then I took the subject tests once. And so, I mean, basically your SAT scores do matter, but they're only one part of like a holistic evaluation. So your SAT scores won't usually make or break your application by themselves, but they're part of like a larger whole, which is like, you know, they won't look at your SAT scores and be like, if you have a stellar application like in other aspects, then your SAT scores won't like break your application or anything. So obviously it matters, but it's not like the one thing.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with that. And I can say that I took it 3 times. I struggled somewhat, but I progressed throughout. But yeah, like I don't think it's not like the biggest part of the application. Like it's a holistic process, and especially at the more selective schools, they're looking for well-rounded students. And so I think just like grades and SATs, it's very difficult to set like a value on each. And with regard to like SAT subject tests, I took 3: math, chemistry and biology, molecular, and I did pretty well. So I mean, it's all relative, and it depends on the student. I can say that at Penn, early decision is like a big thing. It's well known that it's easier to get in, especially if you have legacy. I don't know if you guys know what legacy is. It's like
as if your parents went to the same school. Yeah.
Maybe not as applicable to Swedish students, but
yeah. But yeah, definitely. Like schools will usually say on their website that it doesn't matter whether you apply early action, early decision, or regular.
Yeah, they don't.
But it's kind of like a public secret that people know that. Because schools, if you apply early decision or early action to a school, then you're signaling that you're very much interested in that particular school, and that's something they like. They want applicants to actually want their school specifically.
It's a very clear signal.
Yeah, so it is definitely an advantage if you have this one school that you want to go to, like above all else. You should definitely consider applying early. And I live in a dorm. I live in a triple, which means that I share my room with 2 other students. Yeah, and then food, there's a kitchen in the dorm that we share as a dorm, but all students eat like in dining halls or in cafes and like restaurants on campus. So yeah, it's pretty standard American college living. Yeah.
I also live in a dorm, and it's basically a college house with everyone's freshmen, so it's very traditional. Nobody cooks. There are some kitchens, mainly used by the RAs and GAs, which are the advisors or whatever. So you get a dining plan, and you go to the dining halls, or you go out to eat mainly.
Yeah.
Definitely, 110%.
I'm so happy with my choice.
I've only been for like, I've only experienced the first quarter, 3 months, but it's been incredible. Really.
Time of my life. Like I'm serious. Like I'm not making this stuff up.
Yeah, it's been amazing.
Well, that's awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.